There comes a moment in life when you realize that running, chasing, and striving won't get you where you want to be. You've seen it, you've felt it. The endless pursuit of success, happiness, and recognition, only to be left exhausted, wondering why you're still not fulfilled. But what if I told you that the chase was never the answer? What if I told you that the secret to everything you desire, success, joy, peace, isn't found in the pursuit, but in the posture of your heart? It's in your attitude. Your attitude is the single greatest force shaping your life. It's not your circumstances, it's not your past, it's not even your talent. It's how you choose to see, respond, and act in every moment of your life. Your attitude determines the altitude of your destiny. Look at the world around you. Two people can face the same storm. One will crumble, the other will rise. One will break, the other will build. What makes the difference? It's not luck. It's not fate. It's attitude. Your attitude is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. It is the lens through which you see the world, the filter through which you interpret events, and the driving force behind your actions. Many people believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment are determined by external circumstances, where they were born, what resources they have, or what opportunities come their way. But the truth is, life is not about what happens to you. It is about how you respond to it. Your response to life's challenges, setbacks, and even victories is what truly determines your reality. Two people can experience the exact same situation, yet come away with completely different outcomes simply because of the mindset they choose. Imagine two individuals facing job loss. One sees it as a disaster, allowing fear and doubt to take over. They focus on what they have lost, feel powerless, and spiral into negativity. The other sees it as a new opportunity, a chance to explore new possibilities. They focus on what they can control, develop new skills, and move forward with resilience. Same situation, but entirely different results simply because of attitude. Your mind is the command center of your life, and the way you think dictates the way you live. If you approach life with a defeated, pessimistic mindset, you will find obstacles at every turn. But if you approach it with a mindset of growth and possibility, you will see doors where others see walls. Attitude is what allows one person to rise while another remains stuck in the same place. It is not about luck or fate. It is about the choices you make in every moment. Life is unpredictable. You cannot control every event, every person, or every situation that comes your way. You will face hardships, disappointments, and setbacks, but what you can always control is how you react to them. Your reaction is your power. When something goes wrong, do you let it define you, or do you let it refine you? Do you allow negativity to consume you, or do you choose to find a lesson and keep moving forward? History is filled with examples of individuals who turned adversity into triumph simply because they refused to let circumstances dictate their destiny. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb, yet he never saw it as failure. He saw it as failure as progress. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment, yet he emerged not with bitterness, but with wisdom and an unshakable commitment to unity. Their circumstances were difficult, but their attitude shaped their reality. Your mind is a magnet. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, difficulties, and what is wrong, your mind will find more of it. You will start seeing obstacles in every direction, and life will feel like a constant struggle. But if you shift your mindset and focus on growth, learning, and possibilities, suddenly you start seeing new paths, new chances, and new ways to succeed. Your attitude creates the reality you live in. Even in everyday life, you can see the power of attitude in action. Think about the people you know. Some walk into a room and instantly bring energy, positivity, and inspiration. Others drain the life out of a space with their negativity and complaints. The difference isn't in their circumstances, it's in their mindset. Some people have very little but are filled with gratitude and joy, while others have everything and yet remain unhappy. Attitude is more powerful than circumstances because it dictates how you experience life. The key to shifting your reality is taking responsibility for your attitude. Instead of blaming external factors, recognize that you have the power to choose your perspective. When faced with difficulty, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? What is this teaching me? Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Start saying, how is this happening for me? The shift in mindset will change the way you see the world, and in turn, the way the world responds to you. There are countless stories of people who have overcome extraordinary odds, not because they had better resources or luck, but because they had an unbreakable mindset. They refused to be victims of their circumstances. They took what life gave them and turned it into something greater. Their reality was shaped by their thoughts, their beliefs, and their attitude. Your attitude is either working for you or against you. It is either lifting you up or pulling you down. It is either opening doors or closing them. It is never neutral. The question is, how are you using it? Perspective is the invisible force that shapes the way you see the world, and ultimately how you navigate through life. It is the difference between seeing a challenge as an obstacle or an opportunity, between feeling stuck or feeling inspired to move forward. Two people can go through the exact same circumstances, yet come away with completely different experiences, not because of what happened to them, but because of how they interpreted it. The power of perspective is what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. Imagine standing in front of a mountain. One person looks up and sees an impossible climb, something too big, too overwhelming to overcome. They turn back, convinced that the journey is too difficult. Another person stands in the exact same spot, looking at the same mountain, but sees it differently. Instead of seeing the size of the challenge, they see the potential of the climb. They recognize the strength they will gain, the growth they will experience, and the view waiting for them at the top. The mountain hasn't changed. The only thing that's different is the perspective of the person looking at it. Life constantly presents situations that test perspective. When things don't go as planned, some people see failure while others see feedback. When doors close, some see rejection while others see redirection. The difference is not in circumstances, but in the way people choose to interpret them. There are individuals who have gone through extreme hardships, loss, and difficulties, yet they radiate peace, gratitude, and strength. On the other hand, there are those who have seemingly everything they could ask for, yet they constantly feel empty, unsatisfied, and frustrated. The reason is simple: happiness, success, and fulfillment are not determined by what happens around you, but by how you choose to see it. Perspective is a choice, and that choice determines the direction of your life. It is easy to focus on what's missing, what's going wrong, and what's unfair. Many people get stuck in a cycle of negativity because they only see what's lacking. But those who understand the power of perspective learn to shift their focus. Instead of focusing on what they don't have, they focus on what they do have. Instead of dwelling on past mistakes, they look at the lessons learned. Instead of seeing setbacks as the end, they see them as part of the journey. This shift in thinking transforms not only their mindset, but also their actions and results. History is filled with stories of people who turn pain into purpose simply because of their perspective. A person who loses everything and believes their life is over will likely stay stuck in that belief. But another person in the same situation who chooses to see it as a chance to rebuild and grow will find new opportunities. Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf, could have easily seen her circumstances as an unfair limitation. But instead, she saw them as an opportunity to inspire the world, proving that nothing is impossible with the right mindset. Nick Vujicic, born without arms and legs, could have given up on life. But instead, he chose to see himself not as disabled, but as someone with a unique ability to impact millions. Their physical conditions did not change, only their perspectives did, and that made all the difference. In everyday life, people are constantly faced with situations that require a shift in perspective. Traffic can be seen as an annoyance, or as extra time to listen to something inspiring. A difficult boss can be seen as a source of frustration, or as an opportunity to develop patience and leadership. A failed business can be seen as a disaster or as a stepping stone to an even greater success. The way a person chooses to see their reality determines what they will get out of it. Those who complain, blame, and focus on problems remain stuck in a cycle of frustration. But those who adjust their perspective, shift their focus, and see possibilities where others see limitations create a different outcome. One of the greatest powers a person has is the ability to change their perspective at any moment. No matter what happens, no matter what challenges arise, the way it is perceived is what will shape the experience. Life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. And when that understanding becomes clear, everything changes. People spend their entire lives chasing things, chasing success, chasing happiness, chasing approval, chasing love. The world teaches that the more you chase, the more you achieve, but that's a flawed way of thinking. The truth is, chasing something often pushes it further away. The more you desperately run after success, the more it seems to elude you. The more you chase happiness, the more it feels just out of reach. That's because success, happiness, and fulfillment are not things you pursue. They are things you attract by becoming the right person. The key is not in chasing, but in becoming. A person who constantly chases money will never feel like they have enough. No matter how much they earn, they will always want more because they have tied their sense of fulfillment to something external. But someone who develops a mindset of value, discipline, and purpose naturally attracts wealth. They don't need to chase it because their habits, work ethic, and mindset create opportunities that bring success to them. The same applies to happiness. People chase happiness in relationships, material things, and achievements, but happiness does not come from the chase, it comes from within. When a person cultivates gratitude, purpose, and inner peace, happiness naturally follows. There are countless examples of people who have spent their lives chasing something only to realize that it never truly satisfied them. Celebrities who achieve fame and fortune yet feel empty, professionals who reach the peak of their careers yet feel unfulfilled, individuals who get everything they thought they wanted only to realize they still aren't happy. That's because fulfillment doesn't come from the external rewards of the chase. It comes from developing the right attitude, mindset, and habits that align with purpose and meaning. Becoming the kind of person who attracts success means focusing on personal growth. Instead of chasing opportunities, develop the skills, character, and discipline that make opportunities come to you. Instead of chasing relationships, become someone who radiates confidence, kindness, and strength so that the right people naturally gravitate toward you. Instead of chasing recognition, commit to excellence, and recognition will follow. When someone focuses on becoming instead of chasing, everything changes. Life rewards those who align their actions with their values. A person who constantly chases approval will always feel like they are not enough because their validation depends on others. But a person who knows their worth, who stands firm in their values and purpose, naturally gains respect and admiration. They don't have to seek it because their presence commands it. This applies to every area of life. A person who is desperate for success often makes decisions based on fear, pressure, or insecurity, which leads to mistakes, stress, and burnout. But someone who focuses on growth, mastery, and resilience naturally attracts success without feeling the need to force it. There is power in letting go of the chase and shifting focus toward becoming. A flower does not chase bees, it blooms, and the bees come to it. The sun does not chase light, it radiates, and everything revolves around it. The ocean does not chase waves, it simply exists, and the waves flow naturally. That is how life works. The more a person focuses on internal transformation, the more external success becomes a byproduct of that growth. This shift in thinking is what separates those who are constantly restless, searching, and dissatisfied from those who are grounded, fulfilled, and successful. It is the difference between someone who is always seeking happiness and someone who embodies joy. It is the difference between someone who is constantly looking for success and someone who becomes so valuable that success seeks them out. It is the difference between someone who chases love and someone who becomes so whole that love finds them effortlessly. The world conditions people to believe that they must run after what they want. But the truth is, everything they desire is already within reach. It is simply a matter of becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. When the focus shifts from chasing to becoming, life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like a journey of growth, purpose, and fulfillment. Your mind is a magnet, constantly attracting the things you focus on the most. Whether you realize it or not, your thoughts shape your reality. If you focus on problems, difficulties, and limitations, you will see more of them everywhere you go. If you focus on possibilities, solutions, and growth, those things will begin to appear in your life. The world does not simply happen to you. It responds to the energy you put out. Your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotions act like signals, drawing in experiences that match them. This is why two people can be in the same situation and have completely different experiences. One sees endless obstacles while the other sees endless opportunities. What you hold in your mind expands. The person who constantly thinks about failure, fears rejection, and expects things to go wrong will find evidence to confirm those beliefs. They will make choices based on doubt, hesitate when opportunities arise, and sabotage their own potential without even realizing it. On the other hand, the person who believes in their ability to figure things out, who sees challenges as stepping stones, and who expects success will naturally make decisions that align with those beliefs. They will take action with confidence, attract the right people, and find ways to turn obstacles into stepping stones. The mind cannot hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. You cannot expect success while constantly thinking about failure. You cannot attract happiness while focusing on everything that is wrong. You cannot build a strong future while being consumed by regret over the past. Your focus determines your direction, and your direction determines your results. A person who keeps looking back cannot move forward. A person who constantly complains about what they don't have will never see what they do have. A person who only notices problems will overlook opportunities. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you will harvest frustration and struggle. If you plant seeds of faith, confidence, and positivity, you will harvest growth and success. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending that problems don't exist. It is about training your mind to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on obstacles. When a challenge arises, some people immediately think, "This is too hard. I can't do this," while others ask, "How can I overcome this?" The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, resources, or luck. It is the way they think. The person who believes that every problem has a solution will always find one. The person who believes that nothing ever works out for them will keep proving themselves right. People who have mastered the power of focus do not allow negativity to control them. They are aware of their thoughts and consciously choose to redirect them when needed. If they catch themselves worrying, they replace fear with faith. If they find themselves complaining, they shift their focus to gratitude. If they start doubting their abilities, they remind themselves of past successes. This is not something that happens overnight. It is a daily practice. Just like a muscle, the mind gets stronger the more you train it. Your thoughts influence your emotions, and your emotions influence your actions. A person who constantly tells themselves they are not good enough will feel unmotivated and hesitant, which will lead to inaction and missed opportunities. A person who constantly tells themselves they are capable will feel empowered and take bold steps toward their goals. The way you think is shaping your life, whether you realize it or not. Every decision, every opportunity, and every challenge you face is influenced by the thoughts running through your mind. This is why successful people guard their thoughts carefully. They do not allow negative influences to dominate their minds. They surround themselves with uplifting people, read books that inspire growth, and feed their minds with positive and empowering ideas. They understand that the mind is like a magnet. Whatever they focus on, they attract more of. Instead of thinking about what they lack, they focus on what they can create. Instead of worrying about failure, they prepare for success. Instead of dwelling on limitations, they look for new possibilities. This mindset is what separates those who are stuck from those who rise. The way you carry yourself, the energy you bring into a room, and the way you speak to yourself and others all determine the kind of opportunities that come your way. Confidence is not just about believing in yourself. It's about embodying that belief in everything you do. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with certainty, who move with purpose, and who speak with conviction. The world reflects back to you the energy you put out. If you present yourself as unsure, hesitant, or doubtful, you will attract experiences that reinforce those feelings. But when you exude confidence, when you stand tall and own your presence, doors begin to open. Your posture, tone of voice, and body language communicate more than words ever can. Someone who walks with their shoulders slumped, avoiding eye contact and speaking in a hesitant tone is sending a message before they even say a word. Another person in the same situation who stands tall, makes eye contact, and speaks clearly and directly commands respect without having to ask for it. The way you show up in the world determines how the world responds to you. If you want to attract success, you have to carry yourself like someone who deserves it. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to act like someone who takes themselves seriously. This is not about pretending to be someone you're not. True confidence is not arrogance, nor is it an act. It comes from knowing your worth and carrying yourself accordingly. People who lack confidence often wait for the world to validate them. They hesitate to take action because they are afraid of being judged or making mistakes. They constantly second-guess themselves, seeking reassurance from others. But real confidence is built from the inside out. It comes from trusting yourself, from knowing that even if you don't have all the answers, you will figure things out. It comes from deciding that your worth is not dependent on outside approval, but on your own belief in yourself. Many people think confidence is something you either have or you don't, but that's not true. Confidence is built through action. The more you challenge yourself, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you push through fear, and every time you accomplish something you once thought was impossible, you build confidence. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. But if you never challenge yourself, if you always play it safe, that muscle remains weak. There will always be moments of doubt. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to that doubt. Some people let fear paralyze them. They wait until they feel completely ready before they take action. But confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. The most successful people in the world feel fear, just like everyone else, but they refuse to let it stop them. They understand that growth only happens when they push beyond their fears. Another key aspect of confidence is self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, that you don't have what it takes, you will start to believe it. But when you train yourself to speak with positivity and strength, you change the way you see yourself. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I may not know how yet, but I will figure it out. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if I succeed? The words you repeat to yourself shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. People who attract success understand that confidence is not about waiting until they feel ready. It is about acting as if they are ready. They don't wait for opportunities to be handed to them. They create opportunities through their presence, their energy, and their willingness to take bold action. They trust themselves even when the outcome is uncertain. They understand that setbacks are part of the journey and that failure is just feedback, not a reflection of their worth. The way you carry yourself is a statement to the world about what you believe you deserve. If you act like someone who is unsure, hesitant, and afraid, the world will treat you that way. But when you move with confidence, when you stand firm in your abilities, when you present yourself with certainty, the world takes notice. You do not need permission to believe in yourself. You do not need approval to go after what you want. Confidence is a choice, and that choice determines the life you create. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and unexpected setbacks. No matter how well you plan or how hard you work, there will always be moments when things don't go your way. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is resilience. Resilience is the ability to keep going despite difficulties, to find strength in adversity, and to turn setbacks into stepping stones. It is what separates those who give up when faced with failure from those who use failure as fuel for growth. The way you respond to hardship determines your success. Some people allow difficulties to break them. They let rejection, failure, and disappointment destroy their confidence and convince them that they are not capable. Others use those same experiences as lessons, finding ways to adapt, grow, and improve. The strongest people are not those who have never faced hardship, but those who have faced it, endured it, and come out stronger. They understand that challenges are not meant to stop them, but to shape them. When life knocks you down, you have two choices: stay down or get back up. Resilient people always choose to get back up. They do not waste time feeling sorry for themselves or blaming the world for their misfortune. Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? They take responsibility for their actions, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. They understand that setbacks are not the end of the road, they are part of the journey. Every failure, every rejection, and every obstacle carries a lesson, and those who are willing to learn from them grow stronger with each experience. One of the greatest strengths of resilient people is their ability to stay calm under pressure. While others panic, complain, or freeze in fear, they remain focused and determined. They do not let temporary hardships cloud their vision. They know that no storm lasts forever, and that as long as they keep pushing forward, they will eventually find a way through. This mindset allows them to make better decisions, stay productive, and keep their emotions in check, even when everything seems to be going wrong. Resilient people also know the power of persistence. They understand that success is not about getting everything right the first time, but about continuing to try until they get it right. Every great achievement in history was built on countless failures. The people who have accomplished the most in life are the ones who refuse to give up. They faced rejection, loss, and disappointment. But instead of seeing those experiences as reasons to quit, they use them as motivation to push even harder. They know that every failure brings them one step closer to success. Another key characteristic of resilient people is their ability to reframe challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, they see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift in mindset makes all the difference. When you believe that every challenge has a purpose, you stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a warrior. You develop the strength to face adversity with courage rather than fear. Resilience is not about ignoring pain or pretending that difficulties don't exist. It is about choosing not to let those difficulties define you. It is about refusing to be broken by setbacks and instead using them to build a stronger version of yourself. It is about developing the inner strength to keep going even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. People who master resilience do not allow temporary circumstances to dictate their long-term success. They understand that no failure is final unless they choose to stop trying. They keep their focus on their goals, reminding themselves that every challenge they overcome makes them stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. They embrace struggle, knowing that growth is always found on the other side of difficulty. They refuse to let fear, doubt, or setbacks steal their dreams. They rise again and again, because they know that resilience is not just a skill, it is a way of life.